Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Dawn of War 2 Elite Mod replay. Spawn on the south side as the Warlock, we have VagrantTable. Spawn on the top side as the Lictor Alpha, we have Adrthurcloud. We do have, looks like Termagants versus Howling Banshees, both pretty common build openers. Over here we do have the PowerPoint being captured on up. Howling Banshees now deployed out on the field. And mostly designed for this PowerPoint as well. Looks going for double power, likely a fast ranger, I'm guessing. Could be for fast upgrades. Second Guardian squad on the build queue, so is the second Termagon squad, pretty standard. Both of these PowerPoints captured up as well. Not the requisition point just yet. Requisition point being cleaned by the Howling Banshees. And two observers. Don't know if we can make it. I meant to bully Arthur today. I guess there was a potential scheduled fight, but maybe there's interruptions, or maybe some games going a bit too long. Howling Banshees now eyeing forces into the map. Guardian squad capping up the VP, but does still stop capturing there. Trying to stop the Lictor Alpha from eating the Warlock. Now the Lictor Alpha is going to try to camouflage. We got the Termagon squad receiving a bit of fire there as well. Got a second Termagon squad advancing forward. Two Guardian squads here. Termagon squad I've seen significant amount of damage. Does fall back nice and early. It does only drop one model and should be able to get these guys healed up quite nicely. Lictor Alphas running low on energy. Will be able to camouflage for much longer. Got one Synapse generator over here versus one Eldari power generator. Second power generator now on the way. And now Lictor Alpha is trying to lick the Warlock. Does get the decapture there on that power node. And now got the Termagon squad supporting these forces. Focus on the Guardian squad here. Second Guardian squad gains some damage on the Lictor Alpha. Warlock now advances back on in. And both these heroes are seeing mass amounts of fire. Warlock needs to fall back sooner or later. He's low in energy. He's going to be captured with VP himself. And then his other squad can go around and capture other points, such as hitting that Termagon squad, which is dying to decapture the power node. Does decapture the power node there. And we'll receive a bit of fire for it. Do now have a warrior brood now on the build queue. And now the Termagon squad fully withdraws from this region. And the Guardian squad is decapturing the requisition point there. Power node being recaptured up by these forces. A little bit too many squads here. And now we've got the Barb Strangler cannon, or Barb Strangler. The cannon's like the Carnifex version. It does have now an AoE suppression weapon that does decently well versus buildings.
Adding warp generator.
Guardians, both of them eyeing to decapture the central power node. These warrior brooders advancing forward, trying to get some damage on in. Both of them do get suppressed there, very nice. Termagon squad eyeing to buy some fire support now. One squad does fall back, the other squad will manage to escape on out of there.
Generator operation.
Now here we got the Lictor Alpha trying to capture some points. Guardian squad now seems to fire there. Just a direct hit there by the Barb Strangler and falls back. Howling Banshees advancing on forward. The Termagons could try charging forward to allow the warrior brood to get a good shot on in. Do not have the Guardian weapon team up on field. Does get suppression both from the Warlock and the Guardian weapon team. Warrior brood now in melee, does fall back nice and early, doesn't drop any models, and the Termagons fall back as well. We got a full set of power generators here, and just two power generators here. You may hear my drink open up a moment. Sorry about that. Getting a little bit thirsty. Guardian squad moving around. Lictor Alpha trying to lick the Guardian squad. Does engage in melee. He does have the battle equipment there. Increases max health and also gives him plasma grenades. Does largely miss the plasma grenade there. Lictor Alpha still has full health, so he entirely missed, I should say.
I walk in the witch path, and it leads Guardian weapons team ready.
Guardian weapon team advance forward. I need to start taking on some of these power generators and starting to deactivate this power node as well. We do now have a Ravener brood being put on the field. The Lictor Alpha is eyeing for heavy tier 1. Termagon squad could potentially find a good flank there onto the Guardian weapon team. Does force him back. That's not the proper power bashing technique. Well, being forced back in any time is not proper power bashing technique. Lictor Alpha now camouflaging around. We got an immense Tyranid force now bearing down his Warlock. He stands alone. Does get a good cast there on the Hormigons. Ravener Brood is now on the front line. I don't know if the Warlock has seen it just yet. Let's see if Vagrant can keep his gen farm up until he gets his WL as Wraith Lord. He's likely going to win. That's his prediction. Let's see if it pans out true. He's going for tier 2. The Lictor Alpha is pretty far away from tier 2. Does get the Toxic Miasma melee upgrade. Striking the enemy reduces their speed and damage by 25%. Great for dueling for 25 seconds and deals damage over time. And also, I believe it does improve generally its melee damage. Warrior Brood does get force suppressed, but does manage to escape out of the engagement. Warlock has very little energy, has a bit of health to work with. Could draw some fire from the Warrior Brood. Guardian Weapon Team sending on up. Fires a shot there. Will miss all those squads up, but the Warlock does go down. Nice pick there by the Tyranid. Iron Suppress on these forces now. Gets suppression 3 out of 4 squads here. Does force him back over. Ravener Brood does make itself known. He's advanced on the Guardian Weapon Team, or Guardian Squad there. Both Guardian Squads are now falling on back. We do now have a third Synapse Generator up here. Howling Banshees will see a bit of fire there, and falls back immediately. Now we've got this massive tier Nord force advancing forward. He does pull out some Warp Spider, an excellent range unit. Can teleport out of the range of the Warrior Brood's Barb Strangler. But of course, he is not a one-man army. Does lose a model there. Does have... I thought he had the Exarch. Thought I saw 5 out of 5, but I guess I was mistaken. Then I got the Aspect of Warp Spider. Does reinforce the Warp Spiders. Or reinforce the Warp Spider. Adrthurcloud is seeing mass amounts of fire there. Hormignon Squad just being used for capping up. Does do good capping there. Adrthurcloud is severely damaged, forced by the Howling Banshees. One of those Hormigons could just take time to finish off the power generator. Something got knocked back there. Maybe a Warrior Brood model went down. Ravener Brood jumps on in. Even though the Warp Spider do jump away, the Ravener Brood is still a good range combat specialist. Trying to hack apart the Warp Spider squad, does fall back with 3 models there. Needs to take time to finish off this power generator. Is a sneeze away from death. While the power generator up here is still receiving a bit of health regen because Tyranids cannot repair. They've never learned the art of the wrench. Tier 2 now being researched by the Lictor Alpha. A lot of good upgrades the Lictor Alpha himself can get at Tier 2. He's supposed to be reinforced. Power generator still alive. Howling Banshees reinforced, upgraded with the Aspect Fleetness, and we don't see any Warlock leaders. We got the Zone Throat now being pulled out of field as well. Artillery Tower as well. Does get Toxic Poison down on the Howling Banshees. They do shout in front of faces, or not close enough though, into these Termagants. You may see a Plasma Grenade there. That could have been a great time for a Plasma Grenade. But either way, it does force back the Termagants. Howling Banshees still has all 6 of their models. And we've got the Guardian Weapon Team going around and capture the flank as well. Warlock is still down. We got double capture in favor of the Lictor Alpha. The Eldar player is running rapidly decreasing in tickets. Lictor Alpha being upgraded with now the Toxic Cyst, which I believe gives him like a toxic explosion around himself ability. I forget exactly. Grants the Toxic Burst ability, which deals damage over time to surround or piercing damage to around the units with Lictor Alpha. Increases the health. Increases the Lictor's health regen by 15. Also health regen, health max up by 100. That can't be right. That has to be 1.5, right? Falling back, receiving damage over time. Yeah, that's definitely not 15 health per second. That has to be 1.5. That has to be a typo. Because 15 health regen per second should be absurd.
We are losing a power node to the enemy.
We do not have a Falcon being employed on out. He's not eyeing for a Wraith Lord. We got the Tyranid capturing up quite a bit of the map right now. I can't exactly pull up this mini-map any larger. I really wish I could make this UI bigger. It is puny since I have a 4 commander. Units doing good job capturing up the map. He does, of course, have a superior number of forces on the field. The Falcon will help improve the mobility of the Eldar player. He will have to find his zone throw, which he has not seen just yet. The Hormigaunt's now seen a bit of fire there. Does fall back. He's primarily been using the squad to just go around and capture points. Not exactly a great squad to fight with, but it is good for flanking and for capping. He can be upgraded with Adrenal Grinds, which increases their movement speed a little bit more. Of course, that is an investment.
Another voice joins our chorus.
Send forth a Warlock to lead our guardians. Strategic locations.
We do now have some Spirit Seers not being employed on the field. This is still called... Oh, no, it's called Warlock. Spirit Seer is the Wraith Guard. We do have some Rippers now employed on the field, ready to be ripped apart. It's their name. They're making it forward. They're about ready to get fully ripped apart. Howling Page is hacking apart this power generator, but without the aspect of strength, he doesn't have the weapon that's a bit more effective versus buildings. These forces are getting suppressed there. Does knock back the Guardian weapon team there. Ravener squad does focus it down. The Guardian's weapons team does fall back. Lictor Alpha is trying to pursue that squad there. Now tying up the Guardian squad there. Lictor Alpha's about to go down. This good special attack there. The Guardian squad falls back now. Ravener squad trying to eat people in melee. You're just going to see a bit of fire there from the Warp Spiders there, and the rest of the Eldar forces do fall back. Falcon has seen a bit of damage yet, doesn't have the shield generator just yet. Get repaired up by this Guardian squad right there. Warp Spiders push way forward. We'll see his zone and throw fire soon. Falcon advances forward, gains some good damage on in with its auto cannon. And is falling back from these forces. Venom Broom now pulled on the field, which will be effective versus the Falcon.
Death has struck among our warriors.
The Guardian squad does get forced back there. It's unlikely going to get wiped out, though.
Guardians have come afield.
The enemy has targeted our structure.
Oh, howdy, I just saw your Rumble comment. I can't speak. Welcome to the stream. Guardian weapon team, Howling Banshee push way forward. Falcon receiving some much needed repairs. You have the Warp Spider teleporting forward. They may want to teleport back. They do have the X. Oh, they do decide to walk into the Falcon. Good idea. Plasma Cannon tree path. It was pretty good. It's some good amount of models there. Not getting the wipe though. But sometimes you just want to get kills.
There is the victory objective.
You now have the Warp Spider teleport forward. We'll find some Spore Mines trying to pursue them. One does go down, gets multiple hits there with the Spore Mines. Another hit there, and the Spore Mines down to the last model there. Does go down. I'm not a big fan of Spore Mines. They just don't do enough damage. Granted, they are relatively cheap. I just feel like they should just do... If they were to be making like tier 2 and make them do much more damage, I would say that would be a good trade-off. Pillar Tower does go down there. Victory Point has been captured by the Eldar. But right now, the Lictor Alpha does have plenty of more VPs as opponent. An not found amount. Guardian Squad now seeing quite a bit of fire there. Won't need to fall back relatively soon. Does fall back now. Guardian Weapon team sitting on up. Gains some good suppression there onto these forces. Warp Spiders gain some good damage in as well. Gain a bit of fire there on the Guardian Weapon team. Falcon finding good fire support there. Warrior Brew is not falling back in time. It is prone to being wiped, even though it has all 3 models. Good suppression coming out by the Guardian Weapon team there. Raven Alpha does force back the Guardian Weapon team. Couldn't take time to reinforce it. or get loaded up in the Falcon.
Weapons team under attack.
And these Tyranids are falling back. Force Riders teleport forward to get some more damage there onto the Venom Brood this time. And the Warrior Brood. Not Warrior Brood, Tormagants. I'm getting all the names mixed up. Tormagant squad's probably get wiped out. Venom Brood could get some damage there onto the Falcon. Eventually charging forward, the Clipbacks get their screaming fit in front of those forces. Does receive some sort of shield effect there. That meant to be some sort of global I'm not familiar with. Receive a bit more damage there now. And they do shot in the face of those forces, suppressing them and forcing them back.
We have succeeded in our objective.
Taking cover in the rush. The destruction is complete.
Strategic location spotted.
No
Fortune's tide recedes from
Do now have the power node being deactivated.
Position under attack.
Ordering weapon team now see a bit of fire there from the Lictor Alpha. And now the Lictor Alpha is falling back, but likely will get wiped out. Does get gunned down there. Over here we got these Tyranid forces advancing on forward. Falcon received a bit of fire there, starting to get repaired up by this Guardian squad.
With haste.
The Tyranid enemy is
Now we got
claiming
this
the victory
Hormigant
objective.
capturing up that VP.
As ever, we
Do got a shield generator now being researched by the Warlock. It is, of course, tier 3 tech. I always keep on forgetting that. Starting to see a bit of fire there. Hellbait charging forward, trying to shout in the faces of all these bugs. He does get them suppressed there. Guardian squad may want to go for Plasminate, but it looks like he's low in energy there. This Guardian squad could go for Plasminate as well. Talonbait is a mix of everything. We're seeing quite a bit of damage there. Does get a great knockback there. Warlock still has not been recovered or redeployed. And the Tyranid army does fall back with a great engagement there by the Eldar player. Eyeing to capture free after this point there. Hormigants are on the region.
At full speed.
We must prove worthy of these new arms.
With haste.
Warp Spider squad trying to be reinforced. Lictor Alpha is going to try to eat these Warp Spiders.
Has targeted us.
Does get a great special attack there, forcing back or preventing the point from being decaptured. Does teleport away. Did drop a model, however.
Ready.
Falcon still needs repairs. He does have the shield generator there, the energy shield. Maybe we just want to keep it active.
And we must forestall the coming doom.
More cautiously now.
The reinforcements are most welcome.
We shall rise to the challenge.
Guardian squad trying to capture this point. Doesn't have the Warlock leader anymore. Down a model as well.
As ever, we serve the craft world.
And decides to fall back nice and early. May lose a model or two.
I sense the spark of Eldar life being extinguished.
Warp Spider does see a bit of fire there. Guardian squad is trying to repair up the Falcon. The shield generator is now active. Warrior Brood getting some great suppression there. Howling just good charge forward, but still not great engagement there. We've got the larva bug now being thrown out by the Warrior Brood. Does get a suppression snare there. Venom Brood trying to advance forward. Howling just needs to fall back sooner rather than later. Fiery gets died. Does go down there. Ripper is advancing forward to be ripped apart. And now they will tie up the Guardian squad up in melee. Hormigant's trying to advance along the flank.
We are assembled. We are losing a
And now the shield generator is starting to get hit on the Falcon. Those rippers have been ripped apart. Both players on tier 3. We got a lot of power stored up for the Lictor Alpha. He's probably going to have plenty of power for the rest of the game. Not sure what he should go for. He could go save as a requisition for something big and something scary. While the Warlock, there's a couple things he could go for. I'm not really a big fan of Eldar tier 3, but you could go for potentially a Avatar War or a Fire Prism.
shall have it.
He may want to save less resource and deploy out counter to whoever his opponent's going to deploy out. If it goes for a heavy infantry unit, go for Seer Council. If it goes for a vehicle, probably go for Fire Prism. if he goes for his own super unit. Probably Fire Prism still. Good save from the Avatar War. Fire Prism now on the build queue. Suppresses down, good jump to that force there. Falcon's not fully repaired. Doesn't have the shield generator active. Guardian does get knocked back by the Ravener squad. Warrior Brood, or does decide to get inside the webway. Falcon trying to fall back there. Guardian squad on the flank only has 3 models. Now got the Guardian squad falling back. Warp Spiders push way forward, try to get some damage down the Ravener. Does get the larva bug there. Parmagon's trying to hit that Falcon as well. They have been upgraded now with the Adrenal Glands, increasing their health and damage by 10%, and increase their jump range by 4.
Prism is outfitted and ready.
The reinforcements are
Most welcome.
Our spider brood increases.
Got this squad capture the VP. Red's been doing a good job keeping the VPs captured up. Great hit there by the Fire Prism. Falcon can always provide some good fire support for the Fire Prism as well. Need a patch focus on that Venom Brood. Going for the Larva Bug there. Does get a great knockback there. Does get the Larva Bug onto the Falcon. Shield Generator does eat most of it.
Our reinforcements are here. We are assembled.
Lictor Alpha has been spotted, does fall back. We do not have the Lictor to support the Lictor Alpha. The Lictor Beta, I like to call him when he's working with the Lictor Alpha. The Lictor Beta does, of course, have access to a heavy melee weapon. It's a bit more effective versus these vehicles. Not interested he's going for that right now. It is expensive requisition. Probably could have got a Carnifex relatively soon. Bioplasma Carnifex wouldn't be half bad. Venom Cannon. Warp Spiders does get good some damage there. Lictor Alpha does go down. Got these more space forward. They do get suppressed there. We got some extra Termagants here. But that's the Ravener squad. I see the extra range weapon. Warp Spiders coming along the flank there. Warp Triggler and Larva does connect.
Falcon here.
Does get him suppressed there. Venom Brood not trying to pursue. Venom Group has upgraded the range synapse. Good shots there. Falcon receiving a bit of fire there as well. I've got a tiny spider trying to come down in front of my face. Sorry about that. Lictor Alpha right there. We do have the Warp Spiders engaging. One of the Venom Broods or Warrior Broods do go down. Capillary Tower being deployed on there. Very nice. He does fall back for all these forces. Warlock is still down, still level 1. Zero Council not being deployed on the field. I don't think he's seen the Lictor just yet. Maybe he has seen the Lictor. There's the Lictor. The Lictor Beta is now trying to eat that Fire Prism. The Warlock has lost another Guardian squad there, so he's lacking a bit of capture pressure. Do not have this Lictor Alpha trying to capture at this point. Lictor Beta is soft retreating away. Is able to go around camouflage without consuming energy.
An exarch of the Warp Spider Temple.
Plasma Grenade has been thrown. Does get avoided there. Lictor Alpha engaging Guardian squad. Got a single capture against the Adrthurcloud. The Adrthurcloud is rapidly decreasing tickets. Soon to be double capture if he gets that captured up. And there's no more Guardian squad here. That's going to be game.
They lose fire upon us.
The Lictor Alpha has also enough for Tyranno formation. Fire Prism does go down. And that will be the end of the replay.
Somewhere we went astray.
This is Adam Great saying thank you for watching and on to the next replay.